Topping Talks. 105 hours a week, can't be beat. Welcome to Topping Talks. Topping Talks is a Topping Tribune production, and today's episode is probably sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free Flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapter, so you can mount it to any standard AR-15, like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the Flamethrower button to learn more and see me shoot a flamethrower. And lastly, trying to get to even 1.2 thousand subscribers by the end of the month, so you click that button and greatly appreciate it. Now, without further ado, today I'm proud to say I'm interviewing Alok Kumar, who is a Director of Enterprise Systems at Meriton. Thanks so much for coming on the show, bud.
Thank you, Nick.
So, winding back the clock a couple years, how did you first get into IT?
Oh, well, I was always interested in computers right from, my childhood. And then, at some point, I was on the crossroad of the career, deciding what I should get into and all. And at that point, I just dabbled with IT a little bit, getting myself enrolled into some computer institute. And I was doing good. I liked it. And then I thought, okay, this could be a career. And that was at the back of my mind. Well, I went to college for physics, and I did physics. But then after that, with physics during those days, you really have to be really good. And you could become a lecturer, scientist, or, opt for competitive exams. I wasn't that competitive at that point, and my interest was definitely IT. So then I thought, okay, let's pursue, a career in IT by getting into some higher education in IT, and things happened.
Very cool. Do you remember your first computer, or the first piece of technology you got your hands on when you were a kid?
Yeah. So my first computer was Pentium, 100 megahertz. That's what it was. And it had 2.1 gigabyte hard disk.
Oh my gosh.
It was 4 MB RAM. Woohoo.
4 megabytes
4
of RAM.
MB RAM.
Oh my God.
So that was 96, 95, 96 time frame.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And nowadays, laptops standard come with 32 to 64 gigabytes of RAM these days.
Now my phone is more powerful than, way more powerful.
Oh, yeah.
My phone is supercomputer as compared to what I had during that day.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of cliche to say, but I mean, everyone knows you have more power compute in your hand with your cell phone than the whole NASA data center back in the day to get the man on the moon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And do you remember your first job in IT, or where did you first go, and what was it like getting that first job?
Well, I came here for a master's program, went to Texas A&M, and after that, right around that time, it was dot-com bubble burst. Mm-hmm. So recession time. Everybody was having hard time finding job. Somehow, because of one of my friend, he got internship in Oklahoma. We were talking about Oklahoma a while back. The company was Zion Technologies, and we got internship there. I was also one of the intern, and we got training on .NET. .NET was new at that time. So learned .NET there. Was there for 3 months, and the idea was, they were training all these interns to be absorbed by Microsoft in their support side. Mm-hmm. Well, because of the time it was, recession time and all, none of us got absorbed in Microsoft. Microsoft actually turned off that deal with that company. So now we were looking on our own. And Zion Technologies, they were gracious enough. They basically said, we'll go ahead and market you, but you can go ahead and apply yourself too. And, we started applying. I got one interview. Mm-hmm. Somehow it went well. And I remember that evening. So I was having a beer, and I was having the interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it went well. It was phone interview. So it went well. And I knew right then that probably I'll get an offer. You get to know during the interview how it was going, and also, and next day I got a call, and between my bank account and my pocket, I just had $20 left.
Oh my God.
So I mean, it was perfect time to get the job
Absolutely.
or get a job. So I got job, and then that started my career in IT.
That's awesome. What company was it, and what was the role, and what did it entail?
Well, the company then was Innova Solutions, and I was a senior software engineer in that company. I joined as, and I went to work. I mean, it was contractor job. It was contract, and I was sent to Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. Info USA was our client company, and I was working for Info USA for about 7-8 months, that contract, and Omaha, Nebraska, great place to live.
Right? There you go. They got a
As
couple,
20 something.
they got a couple things over there.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
So everything was new, right? I mean, again, you are getting a career that you always wanted, and here you get get a job, but it's always a journey, right? It's never a destination. So
Oh yeah.
So reached there, and then next thing was, okay, now perform. So in my role, I was given some task and assignment and all. I remember the first assignment was during those days, and not to be too much geeky, but during those days you had to actually code for downloading a table which is appearing on your web page, downloading to spreadsheet. So there was special,
Really?
multi lines of code. That was my first project, or first assignment actually. So it went well. When I did that, I really felt well. That it was an accomplishment, right? I mean, now in professional setup, I'm delivering something that people are going to use, and that brought a lot of satisfaction. And then, of course, that entire first 2 years was in awe of the seniors I was working with, great seniors and great team leads. I had a lot of guidance from them, but I would always be in awe. How do they think about solutions? How do they think that, because at that time I was order taker. I was told, go and do this, and I would do that. I would code for that. And I would always, think that how do they think about this solution? How do they think about these web pages and these controls? And this is how it's going to solve, whatever problem we are addressing. And I would talk to my team lead. His name was Satyajit Vemeseril. I remember, him, a great guy. And he would, and my manager was Dave Lajour. And I would ask them, how do you think about these solutions? And they would tell me, one day you'll be thinking about the same, and one day you'll be doing the same. Within 2 years, I was team lead at another place, and I was exactly doing the same, thinking
Nice.
about solutions. And somehow I got the ability to deliver.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did your thinking change, or did he give you some tips on how to do that, or what was your feedback back then that helped you get to that level?
It was all organic. So, I mean, there is no rule that you would perform, a certain way. So you have to learn on your own. But with these guides, I mean, watching them how they do that, and then, I mean, it's just like swimming, right?
Oh yeah.
Until you are in water, you can never learn swimming. So you have to be thrown in water. You have to look for that opportunity to be thrown into water to swim, or create an opportunity to be able to swim. So one thing I always learned, from my mother especially, never avoid challenges, take challenges. So when I got that team lead role, I mean, I was not scared, but I was thinking more about, okay, if problem is a problem, and all of us solve problems. So, I mean, whether you are a team lead, you are not, we solve problems. I'm not just talking about IT. You solve problems, on day-to-day basis. So that's what I was doing. In this role, as team lead, I was solving problem. And, I thought about solutions and all. Of course, experience helped, 2 years experience. Being around those greats that I was around, that helped. But then I started thinking about solutions which were working and which, whoever we were developing softwares for, they liked those solutions. So that built confidence.
That's awesome. Do you remember one of the things that you built, or what was the most proud thing that you accomplished in that role? It sounds like a lot of custom, cool things you're putting together.
But there are so many things, during the entire career that, we have built. I'm proud of each and every project that I worked on. Some of the big ones were like developing a trading software for one company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was challenging, and because time is everything there.
Oh, yeah.
When you are building the trading software, clicking button and your trade getting finalized at that time is very, very important. You cannot have any lag. So so that was a big one.
How did you remember? Do you remember how you solved those issues? Because I know, like with latency and you're buying and selling stocks, 1 second could literally mean millions of dollars in difference.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So first of all, it starts with your code. Your code has to be very efficient. So we would have big design sessions for each and every requirement before we even would code. We would have detailed design session. In those design sessions, will not just talk about high level design, but we'll get to the code. And when we were talking about code, it would be like 2 loops versus 1 loop. That level of detail, you have to decide all that beforehand. And then you would code. And then the next thing is, and sorry if I'm getting too nerdy and boring.
No, I love this.
But after coding, there would be elaborate code review. So code review from your lead architect and also peer review. So a lot of toll gates we had to meet, and then testing, and then performance testing and stress testing would be a big part of it. That's how we did it. And of course, the overall design and architecture was big, making more of asynchronous calls versus synchronous calls. So, and asynchronous actually means you call, but you don't wait on the response. Synchronous call is you call, you execute, but wait on the response. That's the difference.
I can't imagine the stress of working on that type of project where, again, you have to be so precise in all those actions to make it work properly.
And some people may get stressed with that. I never got stressed because that was my passion.
Oh, yeah.
So when it is your passion, it's not so much stress, but you want to perform well there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
do you remember where you went from there?
Yeah. So so that was that trading software was later in career, but after that I went to Monitronics.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings home security.
I was about to say it's a different name, but it's same.
So so I was there. The company I was working for, again a recession, so that was the housing recession we were having during that time.
Oh, yeah, 2008?
2008 time period. So my company also suffered big time, and we shrunk in our size. So at that time, we were shrinking. I became insecure, and I started looking, and I got this job at Monitronics, and I joined as a developer. I wanted to be an architect. That's what was my goal. But at this point, it was more important for me to be secure than actually, be totally wait until I get the right, position for my career. So then I was at Monitronics, joined as a senior software engineer, but then soon I got the opportunity to be architect, which was what was aligned with my career goal. And then again, it's being architect, I was always fascinated with what architects do. And now here I become architect. So now perform in this new role. And, and it went well. I mean, I performed well, and I ended up becoming enterprise architect over there at Monitronics.
That's awesome.
So,
what,
yeah.
what kind of things were you doing, or what kind of projects can you talk about?
There were several different kinds of projects we did at Monitronics. So what Monitronics did is they are home security company, or brings home security now. They are home security company. So all these devices they send to their customers' place, they have to install and all. So one is installation, and the other one is providing service, and the third part is monitoring. So for monitoring and all, they used an industry wide software, which is very popular in that alarm monitoring system, Mastermind. But all the other applications were built around it. So when you create an account, when you do installation and all for an account, it all has to talk to Mastermind. It has to integrate with the software. So the projects I worked on was actually, a kind of project management or job management software. Also worked on their, there was one project which was replacement of their ERP, which took care of their assets, etc. There were, some cool mobile projects during that time. Because mobile development was new during that time. So there were projects for e-signature and e-contract, electronic contract, which was cool then. Now everybody does that.
Well, I was going to say, now it's hard to find a contract you don't sign
You
without
don't
using
sign,
something
yeah.
like that. It's like...
So exactly. So those were some of the projects we did. But then later when I became enterprise architect, it was more about what technology are we going to use, in this company? What kind of solutions we are creating? What kind of solutions we should create? So now, it was not about your code, but it was about what are we creating for the company to help the company be efficient, to basically help our customers. So help with the operations, help with the, what kind of reports we are churning out to help finance and accounting. So now, at that point, when as enterprise architect, I got chance to start thinking about that. So a little bit more of strategy and planning than actually doing. That was the difference.
That's one of the biggest challenges in IT is always have to relate to the business, how the correlation of IT very much aligns with what the business operations do and what they're trying to bring their customers. It's nowadays, IT, obviously I'm biased because I work in IT, but IT really is all encompassing and could be a great tool for businesses if they use it properly.
Yep. And that is the thing, right? So a lot of times people, don't understand that IT is not going to solve all your problems. You have to know your business. You have to define your processes and all. For IT is a tool, right? So for IT to come and help you automate those processes, make the shortcuts on those processes, and make you more efficient. But the process you have to define, right? As a business person, those processes have to be defined. That's where I see a lot of lacking. That a lot of people think that, I get a tool and that would solve all my problems.
That's their marketing claims.
And you said it right, and that happens with a lot of vendors because vendors make them think that way. They're selling their products.
Yep.
So being on the other side, not be part of the vendor, but being on the other side, on the on the user side.
Yep.
That's what we have to look at. That people who we are advising as now IT leaders, the business people, they understand that this glittery thing which we are trying to get is not going to solve all the problem, because we have to know our business and make sure that this glittery thing actually helps automate our current process or enhances, enhances in some way that it addresses some of the process gaps.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one of the beautiful things about technology. I mean, AI is doing a lot of awesome things, but in terms of the actual
Yeah.
productivity of companies, one of the biggest impacts I think we've seen in the past maybe 4 or 5 years is just automating a lot of those rudimentary tasks,
Oh,
like
yeah.
onboarding, offboarding
Yeah.
employees. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many real cool ways. It just makes everyone's life so much easier. Because I mean, you can do it manually, but like, there's a lot of things where no one's happy doing it manually. It's time
Yeah.
consuming, frustrating, and there's no. I mean, there's certain instances where there's really no value added to have a person do it versus a computer. There's some tasks where you can easily just have a computer do it,
Yeah.
and no one know the difference, and makes everyone happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad you brought AI. So far now here is the difference experience, right? Different experience. So far it was always like I would go in a company, understand their problem, and I would try to understand address their problem through technology.
Mhm.
Now with AI coming, and remember AI grew how much it grew in last 4 years,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, I used ChatGPT about 2.5 years back,
Oh really?
about first time, right?
Yeah.
And now I use ChatGPT so much. I mean, it's literally it's becoming like Google to me.
Mhm.
So when I go to different forums of IT leaders, different conferences and all, everybody is asking. All the IT leaders are asking, how do we use AI and what kind of problems we can solve? So now the whole conversation is different. The conversation is, here is some technology I got. How
Yeah.
do I use this technology? Because I have to use this technology.
Yeah.
And earlier it was, here is the problem I have. What kind of technology I can use to address the problem? So now, two different mindset. Because of how fast AI is growing, and everybody knows that AI is going to be the game changer.
Oh yeah.
For me, my journey with AI, 2.5 years back, I just started using ChatGPT.
Hmm.
1.5 year back, I was thinking that where can I use AI and what all it can be, used with to help our business. And now it is like I'm so much aware of AI and how to solve the problems and all. We are having some of our at our work. We got some interns,
Hmm.
and they are what they are producing, and we got some ideas. This is where we should actually use AI to help our business, and they are doing some cool things. And as you get more and more mature about your ideas as where we are going to use AI or any other technology to help business. And so it's really cool how much AI has grown, how fast it's growing, and how much we have learned, and how fast we are learning about how to use AI.
It's becoming better and better every
yeah.
day. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
one of the best examples is with, well, it's really easy for consumers to see things like video editing and AI generated images and videos from there. Like, was it 3 or 4 years ago? There's a very famous video, and I think it was from ChatGPT, where they had Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti. And it looked so comically bad. Like, he didn't
Yeah.
have thumbs, he looked like a monster. And, but it was AI generated.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, all of them have most of their fingers. They have like a lot of things that AI missed. It's all there now.
Yeah.
It's getting better and better and better
Yep.
with each passing day. And you got thankfully more and more competition, which breeds better, beauty of capitalism. Get the best results of competition. You got Microsoft with, I think they were calling theirs Copilot. You got ChatGPT. You have Elon trying to compete with Grok, or I think it's Grok 4.0 or something like that. And for New York Minute, was it Blue Whale? There's
Blue,
another, yeah, there's that. That was hot for a day or two.
Yeah.
But there's so much competition, and there's even aggregators where companies will actually take all those and combine them, and that's even crazier. So it's getting really cool to see it all come to life. And there's so many applications for even just like consumers, like everything from making recipes to vacation plans, and yeah, it really is fascinating to see it hit the ground running. Throughout our lifetime, there's been so many technologies, there's so much hype, but when the tires hit the pavement, there's almost a disconnect, and there's almost nearly always a dissatisfaction, like kind of like hyperconverged. it wasn't going to solve the data center. It revolutionized it. It has great use cases. But like I feel like this AI is a whole different evolution of technology where
Oh yeah.
it really is, the tires are really hitting the pavement and it is going fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoot, I think it'd be hard pressed to find instances where it doesn't help any job from video editing to, programming code, like
Everywhere.
oh
Everywhere.
yeah, then cybersecurity detection, like
Yep, absolutely.
everywhere.
Yesterday's experience, I was using Claude. Have you used Claude?
No, let's say we pull that towards you just a little bit for me, please.
Have you used Claude?
No, which one's that?
Claude, it's just like, it's what I use Claude for. I basically told Claude that, hey, create me this particular code, this particular project where I want these features. And it wrote a React code. And then, yes, it built all those features,
Really?
what I wanted. So wait on this. So it was all through prompts I was doing.
Yeah.
I had no code in there. I just simply asked it to build. Okay, once it built, I said, make the changes so that this button becomes clickable. And when we click it, this is what happens. It did that. So through prompts, through talking to that, Claude, you were actually building a program.
That's awesome.
Where it failed is, of course, it was building all the code, but it could not connect to the databases that you have, right? So, of course, at some point you'll have to download the code and put the right connections in the code to your database or wherever is your data store or your API and all. But it builds all that entire front, through prompts. Now, there could be complicated scenarios and all where you still have to go and code. But come on, think about this: something which that amount of code that it churned out, it would take a developer to about couple days, 2-3 days, and it did it in like 20 minutes through prompts.
That's amazing.
So that's the key. With AI, we are basically, we are asking at our work, we are asking everybody that, hey, start thinking about how you can be more efficient with the use of the tools out there.
And then how do you spell that? Because I need to check this out.
It's
Is it just Cloud? Or?
Cloud, CLAUDE.
Because that sounds really cool.
Yeah, check it out. The other ones are bolt.new. That also generates bolt.new.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lovable.
Yes.
That's another one. So, yeah. Check these out. These are really cool. Then, here is another example. Our business analysts, so, again, the theme is that how you can be more efficient, how can you be more faster using AI and all the other tools, right? So our BAs are right now experimenting that. So we are in meetings with other users, talking to them about requirements and all. Your co-pilot is there in Teams.
Oh, yeah.
You have other note taker like Fireflies and all that. We just started experimenting with Fireflies. And they are taking notes. And, they are taking notes. There is transcription and all that. Now, you feed that transcription into, or those transcripts into, let's say ChatGPT or, one of those AI platforms and ask, give me requirements, in story format, whatever it is, there are different formats in capturing or writing requirements. So give me in this format. And we are experimenting with it. I'll let you know how it goes in probably 2-3 weeks. But so far the result has been good. Now that would build the title of the requirement, more kind of a story as a, this role I should be able to do this so that here whatever is the value, and itemize those and create a sort of backlog of requirements. Definitely it won't have the details, but you built a backlog. You saved so much time.
Oh, yeah.
just through conversation. Think about this. So that's where we are going. There would be a time where actually we would be talking about requirements. It would also create the details of the story. And think about this. I mean, from the story detail that you captured, can you put that in Claude and in those kind of platforms and ask to create code? Understandably, those code probably would not be deployment ready. I mean, if it is complicated, but even if it gives the UI,
Yeah.
and you can tweak in a few things and give idea to the customer. This is what we are going to build. So I mean, it's with the aid of AI, it's really going to be efficient and fast. Even our working. So
That's incredible.
yeah.
And really, it'll be interesting. I wonder who at the end of the day will win the AI war. Because it's just similar to every time there's an evolution in any industry or any
Yeah.
technology, you have the startups. There's always there's always an abundance of all these companies doing it. But at the end of the day, there's only a couple left. Like in the 1900s, there's like 150 automotive companies in the United States. Now there's like 4 in terms of like U.S. headquartered automotive companies. So I wonder with all these AI startups, who's going to win at the end of the day? I think it'll be who's gathering the most amount of data and processing that data, and who's also working internally on their systems to make it more efficient. But it really is a war of who's gathering the most, in my opinion, big contributing factor is who's gathering the most data.
Yeah.
And I think, well, obviously just because in companies, every company, darn near every company has Microsoft, I think Copilot by default is going to be one of the final winners of the AI wars. But who do you think is going to be like a top contender? And is Cloud the one that's been the biggest impact on your life? Maybe I'm debating. Maybe past 12 or 24 months?
So let's say this way. There are going to be different models, and each of those models would be catering to different areas, and they would be leaders in those areas. That is how I think it's going to be. We'll see. I mean, I don't have crystal ball, but that is where we are going, and we are seeing a pattern, right?
Oh, yeah.
You use ChatGPT for few things, but then you use Copilot for a few other things.
You don't think it'll ever be you don't think it'll ever be like Microsoft, where there's basically one OS for everything, or I guess for compute? Do you think AI will be so specialized because of different industries that you'll always have a winner per segment, so to say?
I think so, and that's the reason. I mean, that's the reason why Microsoft, it's going open source, right? So because Microsoft is encouraging, even with OpenAI integration and all that, right? I mean, Microsoft is using ChatGPT model. Microsoft is using or giving you, ability to use DeepSeek models, right? So, end of the day, you are using different models for different things. Your interface could be, let's say, Copilot interface, or you create a GPT, etc. But I mean, you'll be using different models for different, needs.
It'll be really cool to see, especially when it starts getting, getting to the point where, you could have it program something, but you have to tweak it.
Yeah.
But just like with video editing, when you're creating these video prompts and telling it to make video on that, again, it used to be comical. Now it's getting more and more close to photorealism.
Yep.
I mean, I suspect you'll probably always have to do some tweaking, but I think in our lifetime, we will get to the point where AI can basically create its own software almost entirely on its own.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And we are already seeing, that's the reason I mentioned Claude or Lovable or, Bold.new. Like yesterday, I was through prompt, I was creating until the code broke when I started playing with the connections, So, okay, code broke, but can I just take whatever was that code that is built, and that code which was built, I mean, it looks like a professional developer's written code. It's verbose. It has it had good exception catching mechanism and all that. So can I take that code and actually modify a little bit, tweak a little bit, and make it work? You know what I'm saying? So how much time we are saving? And you're right.
Insane.
Could it be one day that developers would not be developing? For application programming, it could happen. For not application programming, system programming, and all that. We'll see how much time it takes, but it's going in that direction.
That's the other astonishing thing is how quickly all these tools work. I mean, especially there's a lot of rudimentary things. Like about 6 months ago or 12 months ago, I was looking for a video editor for the podcast, and I just went to ChatGPT and I used Grok as well side by side. Like, here's the job requirements. We're using, Blackmagic 4K cameras, video switchers, using Shure microphones. We're using here's a Rode soundboard. Like, here's all we're using. We're giving me a job prompt or a job description based on these criteria. And it was sub 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And again, you tweak one or two things, but there's so many use cases where it is just so convenient and it's so accurate right off the bat. It's only going to get faster and faster too.
Yeah.
So it really is impressive how quickly it's gone. Now that's kind of rudimentary in terms of that just text prompt and is pulling through all these resumes. It's got a lot of data to pull from. But to me, it's especially fascinating once it gets into the complexities of videography. I mean, at the end of the day, I think NVIDIA's going to be the winner.
Yeah. So, I mean, NVIDIA is really doing good, in that area, right? I mean,
$4 trillion valuation. First that's what the stock's valued at, but it's the first $4 trillion company in history.
Yeah.
Which is insane. They hit the Bitcoin craze, the data mining, then they got the AI.
Yeah.
And with such a high barrier to entry, again, not financial advice, I'm not a gambling man. However, if I was, I can't but think it'd be a good time, even at a high stock price as that, just buy more NVIDIA stock. Because there's some companies that are trying to make their own chips like Microsoft and Facebook, but I don't think there will ever be any true competitors with Jensen leading the company, at least for 5-10 years.
Absolutely. And that's where NVIDIA is really leading in that AI chip technology.
Oh, yeah.
But then there are other companies which are investing into. So, just like NVIDIA jumped at some point, Intel was the leader, AMD, was the leader.
Oh, yeah.
And then NVIDIA came from, nowhere. We'll be seeing with this all AI technology progressing and the need for smart chips and AI, supporting chips, is increasing. There would be other players who would be coming up, and we would see their names too competing with NVIDIA and all. We were just talking about quantum computing.
Oh, yeah.
Nick and I were talking. Let it go mainstream. And then we'll see, how many more companies evolve using that quantum computing concept.
And we're already seeing hardware kind of catching up with it, or even consumer hardware like cell phones, laptops, that's AI optimized or designed just for AI tools. It's really cool to see this technology, touching the end users and everyone. Or again, a lot of technology is kind of in the data center businesses. Average people don't really see it or interact with it. To me, that's another huge breakthrough in technology. Is AI can help pretty much every person, every industry too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really neat.
I mean, again, I'm going back to how much of AI you're using or you started using in the last 2 years. I mean, think about this.
I got bookmarked on my computer now.
Exactly.
It's like 5 years ago, it was like an oddity. Now it's one of the top tools.
Students are, which is good and bad. I'm not going to get in that debate, but everybody is, using ChatGPT and some other, AI platforms to do their job.
You can get in that debate if you want. I like being contrarian. But that went viral a couple weeks ago. I believe the student was at UCLA. He wrote his final book report using ChatGPT and went viral on social media, kind of igniting the age-old debate of back in the day, the standard for mathematics was a slide rule. And when the calculator first came out, everyone thought it was the worst thing, make people dumber. Part of me thinks it kind of does because a lot of people can't do basic math, but also, is that a valuable thing for humans to have? I tend to be a little biased, I think so, but you also you got your cell phone with you at all times. Also, as a kid, the teachers always go, you would never have a computer, a calculator all the time. It's like, now we all do, but it's like, is ChatGPT different so much to that fact that is more revolutionary than things like going from the slide rule to the pocket calculator? I'm ventured to say it is more revolutionary than other technological jumps we've seen in past 100 years.
You're so right. I mean, you're so right. And that actually, I'm going to share this. This struggle I had. I come from India, so there.
Where about?
In India, places called Bihar. So UP and Bihar area. It's on the northeastern side, close to Nepal.
Oh yeah.
So we share that state shares border with Nepal, and my state has a very rich history. Actually, uh, Buddha, he got enlightened in my state. Buddha passed away, or he died, about 40 kilometers from where my mom's hometown is. So I mean, I'm from that area.
Oh, cool.
Lot of rich history. So anyway, talking about India, there a lot of emphasis is given on how fast can you calculate. So you have to remember your time, times table and all that.
Yeah.
I learned from 2 to 20 the times table.
Really?
Yeah, I mean memorized, and that helped in
That's
calculation
awesome.
and all. Made me fast in calculating.
So you
Okay.
not to be an ADHD, but like so you can do like 18 times 12.
Yes.
Holy shit,
So-
that's awesome.
So I was fast and all, right?
Yeah.
Now come to US, and my son started going to school here,
Mm-hmm.
and they were not teaching them this times table,
Oh yeah, they don't
and
do that.
they have new ways, use the blocks and cylinders and cubes and all that to calculate different ways of calculating.
Also the hand trick too. It's like, oh yeah, what's
Yeah,
nine,
hand
nine
trick.
times 4?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 36. It's
Exactly.
It's like one of the few things I learned from public school. It's like, oh yeah, the trick for the 9 times table.
Yep.
9 times 6 is 54. It's like
Exactly.
the
Yep.
magicalness.
But then soon, by 6th grade,
Mm-hmm.
my son was given a calculator.
But it was
To-
was it Texas Instruments too?
Yeah, Texas Instruments calculator. So I mean,
got that
he
good
was,
monopoly.
he was using that.
Yep.
So in his brain, he cannot calculate as fast as I can, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so for a long time, I had a struggle with this, right? I mean, this, educational, pattern. But then, soon I realized that this problem that we are solving, or the kids at this age, what they are solving, are they really solving the problem? Is it really a problem to calculate fast nowadays? Or the problems they are solving is how to be critical thinker? And how do you calculate? I mean, how do you do the probability? The concept of probability is more important than calculating 12 times 18. So different age, different times, different problems they are solving. It is okay not to calculate that fast in your mind and use a tool to calculate, but you should have the concept to solve bigger problems. That's the problem they are solving. Now bring that to AI and ChatGPT and all. So I wonder sometimes that using these tools, because I mean we started using Google and all, right? I mean,
yeah?
Earlier we used to go to library. We used to go
Periodic, the
through-
periodic tables
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
look through different books to find information and solve our problem. Then we started Googling, and if there were some projects, we would look for similar dissertations or white paper on those projects, and we would take reference. Now it is one level more. Now
Oh, yeah.
you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, "Hey, this is what I'm working on," and create create this document about find me information about this, and it gives that information. You copy and paste that information in your document, and you produce it to your teacher.
It's exceptionally good at data aggregation too.
And
It's like
data
back
aggregation
in the
too.
day, I had to worry about the Dewey Decimal System and finding the physical book at the public library, and you had to have your sources and all that kind of stuff. But
Yep.
nowadays, even in default Brave browser and Google browser, like they'll have the AI feedback too if you want.
Yeah.
You can go to the pages, but the default first thing you see now is their AI prompt or their AI output.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's really interesting to see all these companies kind of pushing that direction, because I think a lot of them see the writing on the wall. And I do think the average user's preference will change. I think it already is, but in terms of the mass user preferences, next couple of years, they're not going to want it. You're not going to look at page 1. I mean, Lord knows no one goes to page 3 of the Google search results. That's how you hide all those files. That's
yeah,
the joke.
yeah.
But it's like it's one of those things where I think the average person will just want that 1 or 2 sentence summary from the AI output, because again, just like the first page of Google results, most people are perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that'll be a big shift we see as well.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. But where I was going with that, students are using that on their assignments.
Mhm.
There is a debate if they should be using or not.
Oh yeah.
There is an ethical aspect of it. Definitely agreed. But again, now it's going to be more accessible.
Oh yeah.
And how do you regulate this? How do you control this?
How do you detect it?
How do you detect it, and how do you control this?
Yeah.
I mean, can you control the students not using these tools at all? Maybe in an exam kind of setting, yes. But
Yeah.
at home, how do you control that?
That's not. I don't think it's feasible unless
It's not feasible.
if you're a private school and the kid's like stuck there, you can regulate their. You can put regulations at the internet and what they can access, but even then, kids and people are pretty smart. You can move around things, but even that's not going to stop them from using those tools. So I
Exactly.
think they'll be like when I was a kid, one of the first softwares for detecting if you were cheating on someone's paper was called a blackboard. You'd upload the paper there and basically scan the database to see if you have certain words in common with other people who wrote similar book reports. And to me, that seemed revolutionary as a kid. I think we'll see a similar evolution of that when it comes to term papers and things that students are producing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I actually will do this with some posts. You can actually plug
Yeah.
it into ChatGPT and Grok and be like, was this post on X or LinkedIn? Was it written by a human or an AI chatbot?
Yeah.
And it will detect with a pretty high propensity of accuracy if a person actually wrote it themselves or if it was just AI generated. And it's not perfect, but yeah, I think
So that's where the modern education system, they have to find out: do we live with AI and learn to live with AI, or we basically say no to something which we cannot say no to. You know what I'm saying? You cannot control that. You can't regulate that right now. So I think we'll have to learn how to live with AI. And the risk with that is the meme that I saw one day is this meme actually was like this person was talking in monkey language,
yeah.
and AI was interpreting this is what this person wants to say. So
It'll be interesting, but I wonder at the end of the day, is it making people dumber or is it just a tool? Or I wonder if at the end of the day, I think it will improve the quality of life until the machines revolt to try to kill us all.
yeah, no, so that's one part also. I mean, in science fiction movies, we see movies where machines are fighting humans and
Right.
all. That could be one possibility. The other possibility could be, us becoming one.
Yeah, get the Neuralink.
Yeah, the Neuralink
plug in.
is a direction is a step in that direction.
Oh yeah.
So that whole matrix concept of downloading the information in your head
Oh yeah.
could happen one day.
Absolutely. Well, the scary thing is, who's controlling that, and do you trust them?
So now
like
that is the part,
With Grok, or not Grok, with Neuralink, with Elon, like one of the things they're doing, which is fascinating from a scientific perspective, they're actually helping people who have never seen before see.
Yeah.
The issue with that is if it can do that, it could also feed you false realities, feed you false images.
yeah,
It could change your
absolutely.
emotions.
Yeah.
That's where it's like almost like the Borg from sci-fi. It's like that's where I get very skeptical. That's where I start to wonder: do we trust the people who are making these tools and who's controlling them?
and
then can they be
yeah.
hacked?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, can they
that's
be
that's
hacked?
another thing too.
And regulating that would be so difficult.
Oh yeah.
And that's where probably the whole idea of not having one AI winner is very important. That's where it's very important that we have so we cannot say no to the technology, but we need to have various companies catering that so that and various companies, and there will be some organization coming up just like for IEEE is there. So some sort of regulation, some sort of guidelines for all these companies. And again, I'm going to contradict myself, or where it's going to become challenging, because we have different countries, different laws, different interests of those countries, and when we get into those kind of political things, it's very hard to regulate that.
I think it'll be very similar to
Cybersecurity.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like whoever has the most stringent thing will become the default, because for the businesses, it's easier to just regulate to one standard.
Yeah.
So I think that there's high propensity to be like that, very similar to the automotive industry, where they'll cater the vehicles like emissions to whatever the most stringent is, and that because again, if you have the most stringent solution product, it'll go and work in other countries. Might not sell well, but we can sell it there legally speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like that. I think that there's high propensity that's going to be the future when it comes to like AI regulation. But also, I mean, we have home brewing. How are you going to? I don't know how they'll be able to stop that. Kind of like 3D printing. You can have all the laws you want, but good luck stopping people.
But for global AI regulation, you have to have that global body that is respected by each and every country. And right now we don't have any global body which is respected by each and every country and each and every organization. Right? I mean, cybersecurity is such a challenge right now. People operating from different companies. We know that where they are operating from, and we can't enforce anything other than just be defensive towards towards those attacks or against those attacks.
Exactly.
So those are the challenges. I mean, the technology is not going to be the challenge, or the adoption of the technology is not going to be the challenge. The challenge is going to be how we regulate and how we put ethical boundaries around it.
It'll be interesting to see what the future holds in that regard.
Yeah.
And then go back to your career. What is Meriton and what inspired you to join the company? And what do you do?
Well, so before Meriton, I was CTO for this company, product-based company in Sala. In Sala, I mean, they had an HR product, more in HR space. It was more into coaching, mentoring, and they had a neat concept of connecting people who were like alumni of a company.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, so you go become, you were working for company X, you go do something in company Y right now, but if you're still connected, then there is marketing opportunity. There are other opportunities for this, your parent, your previous company, your ex company, through you, right? So a lot of companies are still interested in keeping in touch with their ex-employees and all that. So that that was our product. It was really neat product. So it required a lot of investment. So anyway, that was good product. After that, I came to Meriton, and I was director of enterprise systems I became director of enterprise systems at Meriton. Meriton is HVAC commercial. It's in HVAC commercial space, and it's a parent company of many other HVAC commercial companies. Texas Air System, was our main brand, and I think it was in 2019 we came up with an idea of creating a parent company and start acquiring other companies, like-minded, like culture companies across United States. I joined in 2022 December, and at that time, I mean, we had 3 companies that we had acquired. Now it is 14 since then. So we are growing. We are growing very fast.
That's awesome. What kind of challenges are there? What inspired you to join the company? Just the culture, or you want to get in manufacturing space? Because it's very different going, HR software all the way to now hardware.
So that has been my career, right? I mean, so everybody brands themselves, in a certain way, right? I do not brand myself based on one industry. I'm technologist, and I understand the business, and I solve the problems, business problems in a company. That's my branding.
Yeah.
So I'm a problem solver, and I go to any industry and I'll solve the problem there, because I worked in trading, I worked on financial software, I worked in home security, home alarm monitoring company. I worked for this, HR tech company. So different, all various different, experiences I got the opportunity to have. Coming to, this one, HVAC commercial company, initially when I joined, yes, I had that question. How much of technology is going to be there in HVAC? Now, I mean, it's pretty neat. So if we go into enterprise systems that company has to support the business. It goes to the, we have ERP,
Oh yeah.
we have CRM, you know. Um, what we do is we install the commercial HVAC, equipments. Each of those are like job projects, right? So it starts with bidding, we bid and all, we win those bids, it becomes a project, and then track that life cycle of the project, and then track the financials of that project in ERP. So there is whole life cycle, and we have to build our systems around it and create tools to aid to that, process, make it more efficient and all. Tons of reporting to, analyze the performance of all our different companies that we have, etc. So, that is there. Data is king always.
Of course.
So and how we dissect that data and slice and dice that data to actually present the right picture, which resonates with the executives. That's always a challenge, and we basically, that's a problem that we solve it on day-to-day basis.
That's awesome.
Yep.
What's your favorite part about working there?
People.
Yeah. Good
It's
folks.
always people. So, love the people over there. I mean, people are very good, very nice, good quality people, very much problem solving, attitude, not complaining, don't see much negativity, so really enjoy
That's
working
awesome.
with the people over there.
I was going to say, people underestimate how important the culture is for a company.
Oh yeah, people. So you said it right. That's very important for any company, or anytime you're running an organization, right?
Oh yeah.
There is, and it's about management, and management, not only managing people who work, who you are leading, not only managing people who you are reporting to, but managing peers, day-to-day relationship and all. That's also, you have to manage, right? As leaders, we have to remember that, one thing is getting work done. And you can get work done by forcing people, making people unhappy. You don't care, work is more important, get that work done. That's one level of getting, work done. There is next level of, management. The next level is, here is the challenge for the managers and leaders, right? Can you achieve all that without making people unhappy? If you are able to do that, I mean, that's a big success factor.
Absolutely.
And because a lot of people, I mean, they get so much into, getting extract the work, that they forget the human aspect of it.
Very true.
Hence the 70, 80 hours work week and all that you're hearing, because all they care is, the delivery. But really, you can get all that work extracted by, motivating people than forcing people. And that's a challenge for leaders, Some leaders are very good at doing that. Some leaders are not very good at doing that. And I'm going to be cheesy here, but two biggest leaders that I have seen, they have made things happen by motivating people and not forcing people. Jesus Christ and Mahatma Gandhi.
Exactly.
I mean, so
And then what do you
that-
like to, sorry,
that's
go
my point. Yeah.
ahead. And then what do you like to do outside the office?
Outside office, I mean, spending time with family. I used to write poems.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And don't ask me to, recite
no
any
worries.
of my poems. But I used to write poems. I don't so much now. So watch movies. I'm trying to get into gardening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's one of the interests. And the other interest I've not yet started working on it, doing some electronics, So
Like repairing or making electronics or what kind of stuff?
Repairing.
Oh, really? What
So,
kind of stuff? Vintage, new, everything?
So everything. Vintage. So basically, take a radio, and start soldering the parts and make your own radio. Small stuff.
Yeah.
But I've not yet started doing it, but it's there on my mind.
There's a couple cool, like, a couple of those build kits on eBay and
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah,
you can
yeah.
find where you can start
Yeah.
to build your own radio. And those,
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when I was a kid, I had like the build your own record player.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, you spin the record, manually with your hand,
Yeah.
you'd scratch the needle and the cone would make a sound. It's like, those hobbies are really underrated. They're a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. I mean, when I was in seventh grade or sixth grade, as part of one of our, my class project, was building that radio, that
Oh, really?
transistor, and that was really cool. I mean, it was a lot of satisfaction when I got that done.
It's a really good challenge too.
Really good challenge. So I want to get back into that.
Would you want to get into like hardware repair
Hardware.
yeah?
Yeah.
Like, would you want to repair stuff too or?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
Just to start dabbling with it, and then wherever it takes me.
Yeah.
So it's hobby, right? So
yeah.
I don't have a goal there. I just want to dabble and see.
It's a fun thing. I know, especially like I like retro video games. Well, I guess this would now be considered retro, but like the original Xbox, a couple of my friends got me into repairing them because it was a great piece of hardware at the time. But unfortunately, the subcontractor they use for the capacitors, they tend to explode after a while and leak the acid all over to the motherboard. So that's something people have to look out for when they're looking at those Xboxes, where the capacitors are replaced, or if they maybe someone got lucky, they never blew.
Yeah.
Then it's highly recommended you actually swap those out and change it, so
Yep.
that inevitable problem doesn't rear its ugly head and destroy that beautiful
Yeah.
motherboard. But yeah, there's a lot of those systems where it'd be cool to kind of break them apart, undo them and kind of fix them so you're good.
Undo them and redo them. I mean, stuff like that. Break it and build it.
Oh, exactly. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
And I forgot, do you like to go shooting?
Shooting like gun shooting.
Yeah.
I've done that. I enjoyed that, but I've not done that much.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's been a little while. We might have to hit up the range sometime together.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I think there's a gun range
Oh,
here
yeah, there's
right
a couple
now.
of them. That's the nice thing about Texas. They're all over.
They're all over, yeah. So I've been invited to, what is that, clay shooting?
Oh, yeah. Elm Forest is
the clay
probably the most
chips.
popular one around here. Yeah.
So I was invited. I wanted to go, but I just did not get time to go, so I apologized. But yeah, so those are some of the things I would like to try.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, appreciate you coming on the show. Let's have you on again sometime soon.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thanks again a lot.
It was nice meeting you.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for
nice
taking the time to
talking
tune
to
in.
you.
Oh, as always. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or additional feedback to give us some critical thoughts so we can do a little bit better. Also, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe. You have a great day. Topping Talks.